Hello YouTube, welcome back to my video. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a login project using Java and the JSF at the front end, and we are using MySQL as the database, and with the help of Hibernate, we are doing the backend process. So let's start this. Okay, now this is my Eclipse IDE. If you want to install this, please go to my description. I have given a video how to install this. I'm going to start a project, so I'm going to the file new project. So here I'm going to Java web and web application. Basically, we are going to have the JSF project. So go to web application, click next, and make it project name as JSF Hibernate login project. Okay, we have given the project name, and the location is default location, and click next. So this is optional. You can select to get your libraries in /lib. So if you want, you can do it. This is optional anyway. So click next, and now it's asking for server settings. In my NetBeans, actually, I have my Glassfish server and Tomcat server installed. I'm going for Glassfish server, and context path is default itself. Let's go further, and here we want to select what is the frameworks we are actually going to use here. So we are going to use Java Server Faces and Hibernate as the database process. So it is asking whether we are using the Derby. Actually, the Derby is the default database what NetBeans is given. We are going to new database connection because we are going to use MySQL. So you can select the MySQL here, and I have already imported the MySQL jar to this. So it's already added. If you are not added, click add and can have it. So if you want to know how to install MySQL and get this connected jar, I have given the another video for that. Please go to the description, you can have it. So I'm clicking next here. Okay, now this is the page which I have to configure my MySQL database. I'm giving my database as test. I have not created a test database. I have to, and my username I am giving is the new user for my MySQL, and the password is my password. Now let's test the connection. Yes, connection is succeed. Now click on next and finish. No need of selecting schema, so I'm clicking finish. Okay, the JSF project is created in my Eclipse. Now we have to go for configuring the Hibernate config file and create the login project. So let's go for first creating Hibernate config file. In that, go to the source file. This config file is actually located in the source packages. In default package, it is located here, and all other libraries are here which we need for Hibernate, and the web page, the index.html is available in the web pages. So let's go for configuring this one. So the primary information of our dialect MySQL clause URL password is already configured automatically by our Eclipse. Now what we have to do is let's go for creating a index page for login. So further we can go step by step, but first we'll go for getting index page with the form with the text boxes, username and password, and we'll create a bean class which will be actually annotated with the Hibernate annotations, and let's go further. Okay, let's create a form first. So for that we have to call the HTML tag library h colon form. So this is the actual form actually. So end it form. So this is present in HTML tag library XMLNS colon X. So this stands for XML namespace. So we have to this is a mandatory section in a JSF page. So take around import in this one if you are doing that in Eclipse. Okay, so here I am giving a username. uh, so it is the h colon input text. So this will create an text box here, and now the password. So the tag for that is input secret. Okay, so I have just created a small form with a username and password. Now let's try running this first, how this looks. For that, just right click on the index.html and just click run file. Let's wait for some time. The initial loading will take some time to process. Just wait for some time. Okay, you can see the two text box with username and password is came here. Now let's go for creating a bean class to receive the input values which a user is submitting here. So we should have an input bean class which is actually called as managed bean, JSF managed bean, to receive all the form values from the JSF. Now for that I'm going to the source packages. I'm creating a new package here. This is like I'm doing as common. Now inside that I'm giving a JSF managed bean. For that just search for JSF not managed bean. Okay, so in the Java server faces you can see the managed bean. Just click next. So it will ask for the class name. I'm giving as login, and I'm putting all that as default. I'm just clicking finish. Okay, so actually our bean class is actually creator. I'm deleting the two default annotation which came with that. We don't want that, so I'll be treating this as managed bean, and this is from javax dot faces dot this from java's faces dot bean, and I'm getting a scope for that. Once this is created, it will be like session scope. So once a user logs in, it will be, and if it is in session scope, until the session is expired or the user logs out, this bean will be in session. We can use anywhere we want. I'll show you how. Now in this I'm creating new string values, private string, username, and again private string, password. So I have created two string here. Now I'm going to insert the setters and getters of that. We should have the setters and getter for each primary the variable inside this. For they're going to source, you can see insert code. In that just select getter, just click OK, and again go to in source, insert code, again setters, just click on all. Okay, now we have receive our set. We have made the setters and getters for the values which we want to receive from the login page. Now what is next? Now once we got the values from the login page, we have to validate the username and password is correct. So I'm creating a small method here, public string. So now I'm going to return string whatever it is, like no, I'm going to return boolean. So if it is correct, it will return true. If it is false, it will return false. Okay, so check username, check user. So I'm not, we don't want to parameterize it, just give a small method like. Okay, now I have written a small function to check the username is Gino and password is PASS. Now I have annotated this as managed bean, and this session scope. Let's go back to the index page. Now let me create a breakpoint here, so it will come on next line, and I have to put a command button here. So actually what we do in JSP pages, it's dot colon command button. So I have entered in. Now we have to add the action word to where it go to which function. So we have already annotated the uh, login bean as I have to forgot one thing. We have to give a name here, so we can use in the JSF page. I'm giving it as login bean. So I'm copying this one and saved. Come back to the index page, login bean dot check user. You can see the check user function will come here, and I'm giving a button value here to submit. Okay, again we have to map this username to that username variable. So for that is hash and the braces. Now let me copy this login bean dot username, and again value dot login hash braces login bean dot password. Now this won't work if we run this. Now again let's check how what will be the result if we directly run this. Okay, the username and password text box is filled, and my submit button is here. Now let's fill something and just submit. What is, let's see what is happening. Okay, so it's giving an error, unable to find navigation phase view ID. So what is happening is we have given an action button, and this is actually going inside this check user. Now this is actually validating the inputs and returning a true or false, but the JSF don't know after returning this where should it go, like if it should go to the success page or it will go to the index page, JSF don't know, so we have to specify to JSF what to do next. So for that, JSF we have to create a JSF faces config, which is which where we actually put our navigation cases and navigation rule. So for that, just go to new and go to other, just say for JSF faces configuration. You can see JSF faces configuration, click on next, and the default name is JSF faces config. Just click finish. Okay, so this is the faces config XML. It is actually created in configuration file where we have to set our navigation rule. So to set our navigation rule, the tag is just navigation rule, and I'm ending that. And inside that, first tag is from view ID. So this is actually saying from where, which page this action will be. Have set the from view ID as index.html. Now we have to put the from action, like from which action tag it will be, I mean which function we are actually calling for that. So if we go to index.html, we are actually calling this action here, check user. Just copy that to here, and let's write from outcome. So if from outcome, which means that what is the return type of that, if the returning value is true, let it redirect to uh, a new page called success. So I have not created that page here, so let's go for creating that. After writing here success, no, not here, wait. So from outcome, and we should put to view id. So this is where we will keep our page, which that we should redirect after successful login. Now same way, if the outcome is false, it should redirect back to index.xhtml. index.xhtml. And now we have to create this JSF page. We'll go to web pages, and we'll go to create a new JSF page. I'm just copying that same name and just finishing that. Okay, now this is success page, and I am giving a word here, success, just to identify the success page. Okay, let's go for running this. Let's see what is coming. I'm not sure it will work. Anyway, let's try running the file. So it's we are going for the fast run after configuring the faces config.xml. Just wait for some time. So this is the server logs. Let's see. Okay, the username and password is asking us. So this is the index.xhtml. Now we have given in the login.java the default username and password. Let's try that and let's see what's happening. So name is Chino and the password is PASS, and submit. Alright, this is now the success.xhtml. So you can see the success page what we have written here. So actually our faces config.xml is working perfect. So this is just checking the check user action. So if it is true, it is going to success.xhtml, and let's try the false also. Let's go back, and I'm just putting a random password. If we submit it, it's on the same page itself. So the basic login process is working out, and we have not used a database here. Now we are going to test with database. Okay, now I'm going back to my NetBeans here. Now we are going to create a method which is actually a DAO, which means we are doing some operations with the help of databases, and check if the system is checking automatically from database the username and password. Now let me create the things which we need for making our login.java as an entity. Now I have to wait. I have annotated it as entity. So this is basically a Hibernate annotation which is available in Java's persistence API. And mm, so if it's entity, this should have a ID tag, because all the tables as per the Hibernate, a primary keys is mandatory. So I am going to create a primary key private int SL number, and I am annotating this as ID. So this is basically now a primary key of the entity login. So I am just giving this persistence again. Now I have annotated this as mm, an entity class, which is actually which is we are going to persist in the database, now this is saying should be serialized. No, it's not a mandatory. All the Hibernate, all the entity class should be implementing serializable interface. So just click on that, it will automatically bring up your things. Now let's we have to map this class in our Hibernate config class, because we are treating this as an entity class now. So all the entity class should have have the mapping properties in the Hibernate config files. So I am just creating the mapping class, just and give a property like this. So this is basically login. So it's from common.login. Wait, common.login. So this will check the mapping class. So this property will tell Hibernate this is an entity class. So take the values from entity and do the needful in the database. So I have to put the setters and getters for the SL number and get SL number. Okay, now we are all ready to write our Hibernate code to insert uh, to check the values. Okay, now let's give a try catch first. So it may throw exception, Hibernate exception. So I'm just printing that. Okay, so on the Hibernate code, what first we need is actually to create a session factory from where we will access our sessions. So it's from work.hibernate.session factory, new configuration. It's from work.hibernate.cfg dot configure dot build session factory. So we have created the session factory. Now from the session factory we have to open a session equal to session factory this one dot open session. So we have opened a session to do the transaction, I mean any operation. So this is from again from session factory, session is from org.hibernate.session. Okay, so we have opened a session. Now we have to begin a transaction, session dot begin transaction. Okay, so we all set to do some database operation. As we know, by opening a session, uh, it's internally try establishing connecting connection between your database. Now we have to write a query. I'm creating an object of query is equal to session dot create query. So we are basically creating a query. It's actually Hibernate query HQL. So import the query also from org.hibernate. Now we have to go to the database and create a sample username and password. So this is my test database which we are accessing through the Hibernate. I'm going to create a new table here. So the name of the table is login. Let's see, and I'm adding a column SL number which is int, and default value I'm putting as auto increment, and this should be the primary key. So how to set the primary key? Create index and primary. So I have put this SL number as the primary key, and now I'm adding another column like it's what is the variable name we are given. I'm just giving that itself, and the name is one, and this is basically uh, a varchar, and length is 50, and let it be others, and I'm giving in one more column, it's a password. Just come back here, password. So I have created a table with username and password as the columns and serial number as the SL number as the primary key. So I'm inserting a value here 1, and the username as JINU, password as MPASS1, and I'm saving it. And again I'm creating a new column here, it's 2, and username is JINU2 and password is PASS2. Okay, so I have said to username and password. Now come back to our code again. So I have to set the code to take one value, which is about one value from the database. So I'm giving from here, basically our table name is login, but we should give the name of the entity class. Now our entity class is login.java, so I'm giving it as login. Write in the complete query like where username equals username and password equals password. Okay, this is same like our prepared statement in JDBC. Now I am setting that value for the username and password. So set string as username. This is basically we are setting this string here, and the same way password is password. Now this will return a list actually. So list is equal to query dot list. So let's see if the list size is 1, the login is successful. So if it is wrong, I mean it is 0, the login is failed. So I'm just giving if login dot size is equal to 1, return true, and if login dot size is false, just is 0, I mean if anything else is false. Okay, now here also return false. So this boolean check user is actually returning a boolean. If it's true, it will return true. If this is true, I mean if selected some value, it is true. If it's size is 0, it is false. Now let's try running this. I'm not sure this will work or not. Let's check that. So right click on the project and clicking run. Let's see. Okay, so we have got into our login screen from the Hibernate. So I'm just putting some value and submitting. Let's see what's happening. So it's on the same page itself. Now let's go to our class with server and see. Oh, there is some error came here. Error is unable to load class mapping entry. Oh, there is some error in the Hibernate config file. Let's go and check. Okay, I have given it small, so it should be big, I guess. Let's small L. Here its login is caps, L is caps, and here it's I have given small. Let's try running again. Okay, I'm just giving some value again, submitting again. Okay, it's also, let's see the server again. Again some error is there. Let's see what is the error. Unable to load class JDBC driver. Okay, so we have to import the JDBC driver to the build path. So for that, just right click and go on to properties, and in the libraries you can just add jar here. So locate your jar file. Okay, I have added my the jar of MySQL to my library. I'm clicking OK. Now it's saving the project again. Okay, now let's go to its deploying here. Wait for some time. Okay, it's deployed. I'm just refreshing this page, and now I'm putting some value. Let me create my console first and just submit. Let's see what's happening. Go to my console. It's loading, still loading. Okay, so something has happened here. So I guess it has executed correctly. Now let me put my correct username and password. The username is Genu and password PASS1. So let me submit it. Okay, it has gone to success page. It means it has executed successfully all the things. And for our checking, let me try some write some code here. System.out.println the username plus username and again password. I'm writing password here. So this will print our username and password. And again my the size of list size. So let me write here list dot size. Now in the success page it is actually not printing anything, so I'm just writing a code to print the name of the user which we are submitting. So it's to print the user, I'm just creating a breakpoint here. Now to print the user, just go to hash braces and then login bean dot username. Let's see what's happening. So the name of the user is Genu and Genu2. Pass pass1 and pass2. So let's try both here now. Let's go by refreshing, and now Genu and pass1 submit. Let's wait, what's happening? Something is happening. Okay, you can see what we have submitted. The username is Genu and password is we submitted is password. This is system.out.println and the list size is 1. So in the success page is returning the username, and again I am giving Genu, what is it? Genu 2 and pass2. Let's see, Genu 2 and pass2. If I am submitting it, I am returning. I am getting the return as a Genu 2, which is the username which we have given. So in the same console, you can see list size is username is 2 and pass is 2 and list as is 1. So this is actually printing the values which we have given here, the print option. So that's all. Now have written a code from scratch how to create a JSF login project. So if you have any doubt in this, you can comment below. I'll be helping you, and please like and subscribe for my videos, and thanks for watching.